Bombardier Challenger 300 jet, which she and her husband owned through a shell company named after Loeffler's $10 million Atlanta mansion. Her financial disclosures show the jet is worth up to $25 million. Corrupt Kelly Loeffler was able to put the cost of her private jet onto the taxpayers through a loophole in Trump's tax bill. Loeffler's shell company deducted 100% of the cost of the purchase, meaning Georgia's working-class taxpayers paid for a senator worth $500 million to fly around in luxury. All of this despite her constituents barely hanging on during the pandemic. Kelly Loeffler is all about Kelly Loeffler, not Georgia. Vote her out on January 5th.
The FBI calls QAnon domestic terrorists.
QAnon followers believe world governments are being controlled by a shadowy cabal of pedophiles.
The Bureau warns some of those conspiracy theories will likely motivate some domestic extremists to commit violent activity.
But what does Team Loeffler and Purdue call QAnon? Friends.
Kelly Loeffler got a polarizing endorsement from fellow Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Q is a patriot.
Greene is a racist conspiracy theorist.
Purdue and Loeffler have created enough chaos.
A QAnon supporter barricaded himself inside an armored vehicle. In 2016, a man shot up a Washington, D.C. restaurant.
11 killed, 6 wounded. People killed while worshiping.
Stop them before they make Georgia a safe haven for QAnon terrorists. Tell Loeffler and Purdue there is no Q in Georgia.
Our campaigns are working together.
Stop Team Q. Midas Touch is responsible for the content of this advertising.
One senator in particular irks me. A Senator Kelly Loeffler. Not elected, but appointed just a couple months ago.
Records show Loeffler and her husband, whose company owns the U.S. Stock Exchange, sold stock valued between $1.3 and $3.1 million.
Kelly Loeffler bought and sold stock shortly after a classified briefing on the virus.
They knew the market was going to tank, and they sold based on that inside information.
Some of the holdings she shed were in energy, automotive, retail, and airlines.
Look, Marie, it's not just what she sold, but it's actually what she bought. She bought things like Amazon, Citrix Systems, company that obviously was going to do well during a shutdown.
While still reassuring citizens that the U.S. was prepared.
We have Americans across the country who have seen their 401ks plummet. Were you trading on inside information about what was coming?
Folks, this woman is knee-deep in the swamp, and she just got there.
Welcome, Rockdale! This is a blue county and proud of it. And we are going to we took this voice to the White House, and now we're going to take it to the Senate. We are going to make sure that Daniel Blackman, Reverend Warnock, and John Ossoff take us to the finish line. We want to make sure that everyone remembers that early voting starts next Monday, and it will be right here at 1400 Parker Road. So we want to make sure that you come out early and vote. We also want to make sure we do have mail-in request ballots at the tables. So if you haven't requested your ballot for mail-in, please make sure you get it, because our vote will count 100%. I want to thank all of you for coming out and showing your support, not only to our candidates, but also to all of our elected officials that rule here in Rockdale, all of those that are presently here in 2020, and all those that will take us into 2021. They all work and give 100% to this county, and we appreciate every last one of them. And lastly, As chair of the party, I want to say I appreciate you, because without your votes and without you coming out, this county could not make the showing and show the rest of Georgia that the second smallest county in this state leads the way.
Please welcome to the stage, Chair of the Rockdale County Commissioners, Oz Nesbit.
Rockdale County, are you ready? Rockdale, are you ready? Come on, do better than that. Come on, Rockdale, are you ready? Woo! Let me tell you that Rockdale County is blue. We've been blue for a long time, baby. We're going to be blue all the way to January 5th when we're going to do it for John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in Rockdale County. We want to say to all of our elected officials, to our chairperson, Sheriff Miles Board of the Democratic Party here in Rockdale County, we certainly appreciate all of you, my colleagues, Dr. Doreen Williams, Commissioner Sherry Washington. We thank you all for your support. Sheriff Levitt is coming up here soon to talk to you a little bit more, but I'm telling you, we're going to continue to send a message throughout the state of Georgia and throughout the southern region of the United States that Rockdale County, the second smallest county in the state of Georgia, is already blue, and we're going to be blue all the way to January 5th of 2021 when we place John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in the Senate in the place they need to be. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Long overdue to change the state of Georgia blue. President-elect Joe Biden will get the help that he and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris need, and we're going to make it happen starting right here in Rockdale County. I've got one other thing to say, and I'm going to get out of the way. There's only two kind of people. Those that live in Rockdale County and those that wish they lived in Rockdale County.
Please welcome to the stage, Rockdale County Sheriff Eric Levitt.
Well, good afternoon, Rockdale County. Rockdale County is in the house. Let's hear those horns for Rockdale County. Rockdale County, that's what we do here. One of the safest counties in the state of Georgia. I am Eric Levitt. I am the sheriff of Rockdale County, and I want to welcome each and every one of you of being here. But more importantly, we want to welcome the candidates, John Ossoff for U.S. Senate, and also Reverend Raphael Warnock for U.S. Senate. Let's give it up for those two candidates. Let's hear your horns for those two candidates. Also, I do understand that there may be some teachers out here and some educators out here in the crowd. And so we want to also thank our Georgia Association of Education for being here. And also there's one other candidate that is here today, and I think he just arrived that you will hear from today, and that's Daniel Blackman. So we want to make sure that we ring our horns for him as well. I know that our mayor, the mayor's wife is here on his behalf. We want to thank to thank our mayor for the city of Conyers for being here. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, our former First Lady, Michelle Obama, had a slogan, and it said, "Yes, we can." And you know, back on November the 4th or November the 3rd during the election, guess what? We did. And now you have an opportunity to do it again. Can we do it? Yes, we can. So Rockdale County, to all of the young adults, especially those that are 18, and perhaps you can actually be 17, those are 18 years of age and older, please make sure you get out and ask for your absentee ballots if you have to. You can ask for an absentee ballot and vote in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your car, in the comfort of a school, or wherever you are. But just turn those ballots in. If you don't want to do the ballots, just make sure you get out and vote. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is our responsibility to make sure that we reach out to those that may not be able to get out and vote and get them to the polls or help get the ballots to them. But whatever we do, Rockdale County, what do we have to do? Get out and vote. And guess what? As Michelle Obama said, yes, we can. Thank you. On behalf of Rockdale County Sheriff's Office, we welcome you to Rockdale County, as the chairman said, for all the Rockdale County residents and those who wish they lived in Rockdale County. Thank you.
Reminder, this is a socially distanced event, so please make sure you have your mask covering your nose and your mouth. And if you're in your car, you can listen to the program by tuning to 90.5 FM. That is 90.5 FM. Please welcome to the stage Eric Hubbard from the office of Congressman Hank Johnson.
Good afternoon, Rockdale. Are we fired up? Ready to go? Blow them horns. Let's get to work. Congressman Hank Johnson want to thank Rockdale for helping to turn Georgia blue. He's up in D.C. right now trying to do what he can to get some emergency relief for us in America. He asked me to let you know that he needs some help. President-elect Biden needs some help. See, the House passed the HEROES Act in May to get a second relief package to the American people. But we didn't have help. The Senate held up the act. And now we have to act in a state of emergency because we did not have people working for us to make sure that we got what we needed. Our schools need our kids there. Our neighbors need to be working here. Health care for all is what we are supposed to have. We need help. We need 2 U.S. senators from Georgia who are concerned about the millions that they represent and not concerned about the millions they can make. We need Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff so that we can have the help that we, the American people, are employing individuals to provide. The Senate works for you. Congress works for you. They are up there needing to get the job done. And the only way we can do it, and I would like to say hello to the world, because Georgia is on the mind of the entire world. They want to see what we're going to do in Georgia. We are going to show them that we're going to send John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock to the Senate to get the job done, to make sure we get the jobs, to make sure that we fight this pandemic, and to make sure we have senators that know they represent Georgia in the Senate. They're not in it for themselves, but they are in it to make sure that the American people get what the contract of America says. You know the contract with America, the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution gives you certain inalienable rights. The Constitution makes sure that the general welfare is being provided for the people, of the people, and by the people. So let's send the Senate some help. Elect Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff to the U.S. Senate and Georgia. Don't forget, I know it's cold out here, and we want to make sure that our gas prices are good, that our homes are being regulated. Well, let's send Daniel Blackman to the Georgia Public Commission, January the 5th. Let's go blue. Let's go Georgia. And let's get some help to D.C. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Please welcome to the stage Rockdale County Tax Commissioner Tisa Smart Washington.
Is it on? Can you hear me? All right, I can hear me too. Good afternoon, Rockdale. It feels so good to see so many folks out here. We have been locked up in COVID. Do y'all mind if I take a picture from my Facebook? Let me make sure that I can tell all my Facebook friends, those of you who came out here for the candidates, that we are doing it this way in Rockdale. I am Tisa Smart Washington. I'm the tax commissioner here in Rockdale County, and I am so excited to be here as we rally for these candidates. We know we did it on November 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, in November. We did it last month, and we need to do it again next month. If you've been in Rockdale for a while, you know that, you know the name Elaine Davis Nickens. Elaine Davis Nickens was a powerhouse, a political powerhouse here in Rockdale County. And she passed away earlier this year, but she had so much foresight that back in 2012, she had brunch at her house with Stacey Abrams. And Stacey Abrams told us in 2012 that Georgia will turn blue in 2020. And Georgia turned blue in 2020. And we need to make sure that Georgia stays blue in 2021. A lot of the elected officials here in Rockdale have made history because we are the first African Americans to hold these seats that we hold now. Oz Nesbit was the first commissioner to be elected. Sherry Washington was the first African American woman to hold the position as post one commissioner. I am the first African American woman to hold the position as tax commissioner here in Rockdale County. And if we do what we are supposed to do, we can make sure that Daniel Blackman is the first African American elected to that post commission seat, that public service commission seat, and we can make history and make sure that Warnock is the first African American senator in this state. We can make it happen, y'all. We did it in 2020, and we need to do it again in 2021. We need to let the Republicans know that we will not go back to red. It is not time to retreat. Retreat never, forward ever. Forward ever. We need to make sure that Ossoff is in office so that he can continue to do the work of the people. And we need to make sure that we ensure that the Senate is blue. We need to show the world, we need to show the nation that Georgia has the juice, that we have the political strength, that we have the political power, and we can make it happen in Georgia. And the only way for us to win this is county by county. So Rockdale folks, we know what to do. We've been doing it blue for years. We just need to continue doing it blue, and we need to show these other counties what they need to do on January the 5th. So make sure that you go out to vote. You tell your people that live in other counties to go out to vote. and we can be back here in a celebration rally, a celebration drive-in on January the 6th. Thank you. I'm Tisa Smart Washington, and I'm the tax commissioner here in Rockdale County.
Please welcome to the stage WNBA player Angel McCoughtry.
How you guys doing? My name is Angel McCoughtry. I'm a two-time Olympic gold medalist, and I play here in Atlanta for 10 years. Yes, I just switched teams to Las Vegas, and everybody says I made it out just in time because Kelly Loeffler was the owner. But I want to talk to you today about these two candidates. It starts with us. When you do the research and you look at healthcare, the LGBTQ community, these candidates care for the people. I've traveled all over the world due to basketball, and some things have stuck with me. I was in Africa, and I asked two young guys, do you ever want to visit America? And they said, oh, no, we don't want to get shot. That is the perception of our country. I was in France, and someone said to me, why do you guys always refer to black and white? Aren't you all American? That is the perception of our country. I have a friend in Australia. They said that America's #1 on places not to visit. They have a list of places not to visit, and we're #1 due to COVID, due to social injustice, due to gun laws and gun violence. This is not our country. We are supposed to be the leaders of the world, but right now we are the laughing stock. It must change today, right now with your vote. We don't want to look like this to the world anymore. We lead by example. So it starts right now with your vote and voting these two candidates in right now, John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock. Thank you so much.
Please welcome to the stage Grammy Award-winning songwriter and record producer Jermaine Dupri.
Yo, I just want to come out here and make sure that everybody understands, as a person that's been representing Georgia for the longest around the world and everywhere I go, I have all my friends and people from other cities calling me, making sure that I'm out here doing my part and that we do our part here in Georgia. And it's really important because we are really being watched, and it's important that we take these seats that we need You know what I mean? So I'm out here to support this, and I hope that everybody out here is Team Blue, and you're going to go back home, and you're going to make sure that we get everybody else out here to vote. It's really important. A lot of people don't understand how much more, how bad we need this, and how important this is for everybody. So if you Team Blue, I need to hear your horn right now. If you outside and I can hear you, I need to hear you hit Team Blue. All right. So like I said, make sure that you take this energy and give this to anybody that you don't believe is out here doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because I know there's a lot of people that don't understand. I just was on live letting people know that I'm here, and they don't understand how important this is. This is really, really important. And like I said, I just wanted to bring my energy out here and do this. I'm not a politician and none of that. Y'all know I make music, but I represent Georgia, and that's the blue team. Let's go.
Please welcome to the stage Representative Doreen Carter.
Rockdale in the house. Hello, everyone. I am State Representative Doreen Carter. I am so excited that we're going to send 2 Democrats to Washington to represent our state and to ensure that we are victorious. If you are not registered to vote, you have until Monday, December the 7th, to register to vote. If you know a young person who will be 18 by January the 5th, make sure they register to vote by Monday. You can do it online. You can do it right now because I know everybody has a smartphone. We have some people right here that they could do voter registration where you have hard copies, and then check and make sure you have not been purged because they are purging folk off the voter roll. So check by Monday and make sure your voter registration is still valid. And then on December the 15th, guys, we can start voting for Ossoff, for Warnock, for Blackman. Georgia is blue, without a doubt. And then on January the 5th, we will all celebrate because we will have turned this country around. Everybody's looking at Georgia. Georgia is on everybody's mind. There are 2 seats left. They belong to Georgia. They belong to you. Let's get it done, Rockdale, Newton County, DeKalb. State Representative Doreen Carter loves you. Let's vote, people.
Please welcome to the stage Representative Pam Dickerson.
All right, Rockdale, all right. Do y'all like this mask? Vote Ossoff and Warnock, and just tell them Stacy sent you, okay? All right. The early voting starts December the 14th. We will have early voting right here on Parker Road, right in this building to my right, and we would love to see everybody come out and vote. Every vote counts. Please, every vote counts. Depend upon your lives. Depend upon it like your lives depend upon it. In other words, we need everyone to come out and vote. It's good to see everyone. I'm happy to be out here. I want to thank the Democratic Party of Rockdale County for putting on this spectacular event this afternoon. And we would just understand again that early voting starts on December the 15th. This is a very important election, as we know, because it will determine how our government will be ran for the next 4 years, or at least 2, because, you know, there are another election for senators in the next 2 years. But Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff are in the running right now. And we need their votes, and we need them in. As you can see, the bus is here. We're ready. He's ready. You guys are ready? Let's get out and vote. Let's get out and vote. Our candidates are here, and they're ready. They're on the ground. They're moving all over this state, and we need you to vote. So please, December the 14th, early voting starts up until January the 5th. Thank you again. Thanks. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage TV personality and actress Porsha Williams.
Yes! All right now. Y'all better bring that spirit outside. We are not even cold, we are hot. Listen, I am Porsha Williams, and I'm the granddaughter of Reverend Hosea Williams. So I come to bring his energy today. And I feel it right now that I'm right amongst people who know what we got to do. We got a job to do today, ain't that right? Now, voting for me is very important. But this particular election on December 5th for the Senate runoff race is very important for me. My grandfather, Reverend Hosea Williams, that's actually his birthday. All right? So for me, I want to be able to honor my grandfather, honor his legacy, honor his sacrifice. Remember that day, Bloody Sunday? Remember that? Remember when he was standing next to John Lewis? Remember that? Remember what they had to go through and fight through to show America its ugliness so that we can have a change, so that we would have the opportunity and the ability to vote? Do you guys remember that? Well, guess what? On December 5th, we're going to act like we remember. We're going to be a part of history. We're going to reverence them, honor them, let them know that their sacrifice, everything that they stood for, is still within us. Their legacy has not died. The Voting Act of 1965 was put into place for us right now. We were all born for a moment such as this. And we're all going to activate our activism. Ain't that right? Got that right. Now, I know that we all, and I want to first say thank you to the country, to the nation, and most of all to Georgia, honey. Give yourselves a round of applause. Because you all showed America that we will not be complacent. We will not step aside and sit aside and while they lay on us, have their feet on our necks and everything else weighing on our back along with the pandemic. We stood up and we educated ourselves about our candidate. We got behind Kamala Harris. We stood behind Joe Biden. We found out what policies they stood for. Guess what? We're going to do the same thing for our two candidates of choice for the Democrat Senate seats, John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock. Let's let them know that this year is like none other year. We are voting like our lives depend on it. And we showed them just that in the presidential race, and we're going to do it again. Isn't that right? A lot is standing on this race. The Republicans currently have 50 seats. We currently have 48 seats in the Senate. The two seats that we are going to claim, and I claim it in the name of Jesus, the two seats that we're going to claim belong to Joe Ossoff, belong to Reverend Warnock. If they don't get those seats, then everything we did for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be in vain. If we don't put them in those seats, then the Republicans who are going to control the White House and the Congress will undermine everything that we are fighting for. Every step forward for Black Lives Matter, every step forward for the LGBTQ community, every step forward for immigration, every step forward for our lives and our health during this pandemic. We are not going to let the Republicans win. We're going to put John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock in those two seats so that we can be the wind beneath Kamala Harris' wings, so that she will be able to make that Democratic vote, honey. She will make that vote. And we will then, as the people, control the White House and the Congress and get it done. We will not be undermined again. So in the name of Jesus and whomever power you stand under, please get up, grab somebody, and vote. If you're not registered, get registered by Monday, December 7th. December 14th, I need you to be there for early voting. We can't be late on nothing, okay? We're going to be there on December 14th, early voting, because that's what got our president in the House. All right, now, the mail-ins is what got him in the House, right? So we're going to get out. We're going to early vote December 14th, and December 5th, baby, we're going to shock the world again. Georgia is going to show up and show out. I love you guys so much. Thank you for having me. Be blessed.
Please welcome to the stage Senator Tanya Anderson.
What's up, Rockdale County? Woo! We are fired up and ready to go. Are y'all ready to go? So when I say John, you say Ossoff. John! John! When I say Raphael, you say Warnock. Raphael! Raphael! When I say Daniel, you say Blackman. Daniel. Daniel. When I say Rockdale, you say County. Rockdale. Rockdale. Hey. Come on now. Yes. We are here for it. We are here to make history again. We are here to make history again. We can do it again. I know we can do it again because you're fired up and ready to go. Right now, Georgia, all eyes are on Georgia. All eyes are on Georgia. And we love it because we're telling the world that their vote matters, that their vote counts, that everything about our election process is to count every vote. So because of Georgia, we're going to change the world. Because of what Georgia did, we're going to continue to duplicate that in other states, in other counties, in other areas. Right now on the ballot, we have to elect. It's a must. Look at your neighbor and say, we have to. Look at the other side and say, we must elect John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock, and Daniel Blackman. I'll tell you why. Daniel Blackman is very important. I'll tell you why. Because the Public Service Commissioner determines how much you pay on your electricity bill, on your any utility bill. So we need Daniel at the table. Don't we need Daniel at the table? We need Daniel at the table. And then we need John Ossoff at the table because he will be unseat a Republican who doesn't care about jobs or justice. We need Reverend Raphael Warnock because the person that he's going to unseat doesn't care about health care or criminal justice reform. So we need Raphael, John,
Please welcome to the stage your candidate for Public Service Commissioner, Daniel Blackman.
Dale, I need you to be louder than that. We have 2 U.S. senators to elect. Now, we have some amazing, amazing speakers here, but I cannot stress enough the importance of all the young people I see here and the responsibility that all of us have not to turn Georgia blue, but to keep Georgia blue and to continue to work to build up Rockdale and Newton and every other county in this area. So here's what I want to share with you in the limited time that I have. In almost 20 years, the state of Georgia has not had a Democrat elected to a statewide office, but we're going to change that on January 5th. In the 141 year of the Public Service Commission, there's never been an African American to be elected to that seat, but we're going to change that on January 5th. Here's why this race is important. I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to introduce our friend Raphael Warnock. But in the state of Georgia, we pay the 5th highest utility electric rates in the country and the 8th highest utility rates in the nation. What that means is that on average in the United States, 5% of an individual's paycheck goes towards their utility bill. But in the state of Georgia, 18% of our paychecks go towards paying bills. And out of 10.7 million people in Georgia, almost 2 million live at or below poverty. So I'm not running to be a public service commissioner because I want it on my resume. I'm running for all those families who are struggling to keep their lights on. And for all of us in this state that have grandparents and family members on a fixed income, we owe it to them to show back up on January 5th. We owe it to them to give President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris the responsibility and the support they need by having John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock to have the Senate majority so that their presidency can move our country in the direction that we all know it should go. The last thing I'll say about this position is the impact that COVID-19 has had on Rockdale County, on Georgia, and on our nation. 23 million Americans run the risk of eviction in this country. 205 million Americans run the risk of utility disconnections in this country. Our responsibility is to those who didn't think the political process mattered until November 3rd when we showed this country different. So on behalf of my campaign and my candidacy, on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of Georgia students who are at home right now with no access to high-speed internet, no access to wireless broadband, on behalf of every single resident that calls Georgia home, there's a quote by Dr. King that says, and I want to say this, it says that the true measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. I don't care what the other side is doing. Our responsibility to the future of our state is to vote on January 5th, to early vote on December 15th. At this time, if you haven't already registered to vote and you live in Rockdale, I want you to go to rockdaledems.org, and I want you to register to vote, because the gentleman I'm bringing up is not only a leader, not only was he a pastor, he's someone that will help us change the narrative of healthcare in this country. He's someone that will fight and stand up for working families. And he's the second part of a dynamic duo, at least that's what I call it, to get the Senate majority. Please welcome my friend and your next U.S. Senator, Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went
right, I'm a Baptist preacher. Y'all got to talk louder than that. Hello, everybody. Listen, it's wonderful to be here on this crisp and beautiful December afternoon. I want to thank you for the passion and commitment that you are bringing to this moment and to this movement. It's almost impossible to overstate the stakes in this election. We've been saying for a long time that elections have consequences. That feels like an understatement these days. For we have learned in tragic ways over the last several months especially that elections are a matter of life and death. We need to be thinking about the Americans over the last several months who have perished not only from the virus we call COVID-19, but more especially from the virus we call indifference and a lack of empathy in the highest places of our government. That's the virus that we need to fight in order to win against COVID-19. And so I've spent my whole career and my whole ministry focused on health care, because I believe that health care is a human right, and it is certainly something that the richest nation on the planet can and ought to provide to all of its citizens. And I'm running against a senator who was selected, not elected, who was appointed, and the people of Georgia are disappointed because she has spent her entire time in the Senate focused not on you, but focused on herself and focused on people like her. I don't know about you, but I think that the wealthy and the well-connected have enough representatives in the United States Senate. It's time for somebody representing ordinary people and ordinary families and working families and struggling families. And so when I say that I'm standing up for ordinary people, I don't have to look far, because I'm talking about my mother. I'm talking about my sisters and my brothers. I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about my church family. I'm talking about the folk in this neighborhood. I'm talking about the folks that I've been running into all across Georgia who are wondering why no one in Washington is looking out for them. I'm talking about the folk in the rural stations in this state where their hospitals have been closing because the leaders of this state have refused to expand Medicaid. And so when Georgia refused to expand Medicaid in this state, because I'm the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church and I operate in the tradition of civil rights, where we don't mind putting our body on the line until justice comes, I and a group of activists made my way to the governor's office. And I said, Mr. Governor, you must expand Medicaid in this state. And I was holding a sign with Dr. King's quote that said, of all the injustices, inequality in health care is the most shocking and the most inhumane. The Capitol Police came and said, Reverend, you all have to clear the office or unfortunately, we are going to have to arrest you. What they didn't understand was that I had already been arrested. My mind and my imagination had been arrested by this idea that if my neighbor is uncovered, that means I too am unprotected, that what affects one directly affects all indirectly. My mind had been arrested by this idea that we are tied in a single garment of destiny, that we are all in this together. And so they carted us off that day. And I thought it was a small price to pay for the people I was trying to represent. And then in 2017, when they were giving a $2 trillion tax giveaway to the richest of the rich while taking money away from the children's health care program, I went to the United States Capitol. And because I had not been elected a United States Senator yet, I made my argument in the rotunda of the Capitol. And I began to say that a budget is not just a fiscal document, it's a moral document. Show me your budget and I'll show you your values. Show me your budget and I'll show you who you think counts and who you think does not count. And so there I was again with a group of clergy and activists. And we began to sing and pray in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol because we were thinking about the children and the children's health care program. And the Capitol Police came again. They were polite. They were professional. I'm not mad at them. They were there doing their job. I was there doing my job. And they carted us off again. I'm running for the United States Senate, and I want you to know that in a few days, in a few weeks, those wonderful Capitol Police officers will meet me again. This time they will not be escorting me to central booking. They will be escorting me to my new office as the next United States Senator from the great state of Georgia. And there I'm going to stand with my brother from another mother, John Ossoff. And there he and I are going to fight the good fight on behalf of health, jobs, and justice in the great state of Georgia and in the United States of America. And so listen to me, folks. I know the preacher's preaching to the choir. You got to vote. I know you voted on January 5th. I mean, you voted on November 3rd. But you got to do it again. And have you noticed? Some people are afraid of your power. You need to tell your friends who say, I'm not sure I'm going to vote. I'm not sure my vote counts. Are you kidding me? Of course your vote counts. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be trying so hard to stop you from voting. If your vote didn't count, Lindsey Graham wouldn't be calling all the way from South Carolina to impact what's happening in the state of Georgia. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be caught up in a circular firing squad right now because it didn't work out the way they thought it was supposed to work out. You have power. Use your power. You have a voice. Use your voice. Your vote is your voice, and your voice is your human dignity. So tell everybody in your circle, because I'm preaching to the choir. I know all of y'all are going to vote. Some of you have already voted. But tell the folks in your circle that they must vote. They must vote like they've never voted before. They must vote for our beloved John Lewis, who, if he were here, would tell us to vote. They must vote for C.T. Vivian. They must vote for Joseph Lowry. But more importantly, they must vote for our children. And so let's go forward from this place. Pray for our country. And know that a vote is a kind of prayer for the kind of nation that we want to live in. Vote all the way down the ballot. Vote for John Ossoff. Vote for Raphael Warnock. Vote for Daniel Blackman. And when you vote, we will send a signal all across the United States of America that there is a new Georgia rising. It is open, it is inclusive, it is ready for the future. When you vote for health care. When you vote for jobs with a living wage. When you vote so that children, regardless of their parents' income, know that they can have a great outcome. Let's vote together and pray together and stay together and work together, and come January 5th, we will win. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my brother from another mother, Mr. John Ossoff.
The whole room fell silent. The girls all paused with glee, turning left, turning right. Thought they looking at me, but I was looking at them. They're on the dance floor. Now they got me in the middle, feeling like a man.
Make some noise now. Come on. All right. Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon. Can y'all hear me all the way in the back out there? Can y'all hear me all the way out here? Y'all give it up for the Reverend Raphael Warnock. A moral leader for our state and for our country. We love Raphael Warnock. What's happening in Georgia right now is history in the making. We're all participating in a moment that will be written about for generations. Because you got the young Jewish journalist, son of an immigrant, mentored by Congressman John Lewis, running alongside a black preacher who holds the same pulpit as Dr. King at Ebenezer Baptist Church, building a movement for health, jobs, and justice for the people. And we are running against the Bonnie and Clyde of political corruption in American politics. David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler? We got bigger and better things to talk about than David and Kelly, y'all. Like the kind of future that we want to build together. Let me lay out the stakes for you very, very clearly. If Mitch McConnell still controls the Senate, he will try to do to Joe and Kamala just like he tried to do to President Obama. It will be obstruction and gridlock and partisanship and government shutdowns. It will be paralysis at a moment of national crisis when we need strong action, when we need direct economic relief for the people. We need stimulus for the people. We need economic relief for small businesses. We need resources for hospitals and doctors and scientists and clinics and nursing homes. We got 3,000 Americans dying per day, and they are doing nothing in Washington. Because they don't care about ordinary working people. Paralysis in a crisis is untenable. We need action. We have good work to do together, y'all. This is a movement for health, jobs, and justice for the people. That means every family in Georgia has the health care that we need. That means we invest in economic recovery where every community can participate equitably in good-paying jobs that pay a living wage for the people. That means that we pass a new Civil Rights Act to secure equal justice under the law for all of us, regardless of race and regardless of class. We can do all these things. We have to do all these things. But if they hold on to the Senate, they will stop progress in its tracks. Because they don't care about ordinary people. This isn't even about Democrats versus Republicans. This is about the people versus crooks who have been lining their pockets in office while they hold up relief for ordinary people. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about David Perdue, who lives on a private island and treats his Senate office like it's his E-Trade account. Trading banking stocks while he sits on the banking committee. Buying up shares in the defense contractor, then sending taxpayer dollars to him, our money, and then cashing out at a profit. Buying shares in manufacturers of vaccines, medical equipment, while he's getting classified briefings on COVID-19 and telling us it's no worse than the flu. David Perdue is a crook. And David Perdue is not just a crook, David Perdue is a coward. See, we had the chance to debate in Savannah a few weeks back. I asked Senator Perdue why he was enriching himself in office. I asked Senator Perdue why he voted 4 times to repeal protections for pre-existing conditions. Why he thought it was acceptable to vote so that health insurance companies, just to make a buck, could deny us a policy because we have asthma or diabetes or heart disease or cancer in remission. David didn't like those questions. So now David is refusing to debate. Y'all gonna get to see the Reverend and Kelly debate tomorrow. It's gonna be me and an empty podium. David Perdue is pleading the fifth. If David Perdue doesn't want to answer questions in public and debate his opponent, that's fine. He just shouldn't run for re-election to the United States Senate. Isn't it about time we had public servants who served us instead of serving themselves? This is about human rights, health, jobs, justice for the people. We have to build a grassroots movement here in Georgia unlike anything we've seen in our state's history. And we've been building this movement for 10 years, y'all. Give it up for Stacey Abrams, who has led us these last 10 years to register voters and mobilize the people. Give it up for yourselves and all the organizers and volunteers who have been making a difference in building a movement for the people. We sent a message on November 3rd that was heard across the country, and now the whole world is watching to see what we will do at this moment. The whole world is watching us, Georgia, because we have the power. You have the power. No one will do it for us. We cannot be spectators to history. We have to make history together. So if you believe that we need a new Civil Rights Act that will bring true accountability for police brutality and racial profiling and the miscarriage of justice, you need to get out to the polls and vote. If you believe we need a new Voting Rights Act to secure the sacred franchise for all people, you need to get out to the polls and vote. If you believe that health care is a human right and not just a privilege for those who can afford it, you need to get out to the polls and vote. If you believe we need to leave a clean, healthy, beautiful planet for future generations, you need to get out to the polls and vote. No one will do this for us. It is up to us. Health, jobs, and justice for the people. It's up to us. Let me just close out by saying this. I know this has been a painful 4 years. We've been torn apart by politicians who use fear and hatred and racism and division to divide us. And this year we've lost more than 250,000 Americans to this virus. Millions have lost jobs and homes and livelihoods and opportunities. It's important to remember that this is about the human consequences of elections, not the game, the real stakes. It is not a game. It isn't even about red versus blue. It's about the people, people's lives, justice, and opportunity. So if you believe now is the moment to stand up for health and jobs and justice, make some noise and make a plan to vote. If you're ready to organize and mobilize like we've never done it before, make some noise and make a plan to vote. I appreciate you. I love you. I wish you good health. Thank you so much, Rockdale County. Thank you. Thank you.